Come on, boys, watch this. Tell me when you're ready, Marco.
Oh no, not on video.
Yes, here we are. Here we are. Look, come over here. You look great.
Wow.
You look great compared to me. Are we ready? Good afternoon, everybody. It's a warm welcome. Well, it's not warm, really. It's wet and windy. Thurrock Oakfield today, where Thurrock take on one of their greatest old rivals, Dartfordians. And I'm privileged to have my dear friend here from all the way from New Zealand today, Mike Stanley. Mike Stanley, of course, played for Thurrock, but also played for Saracens, played for England all the way through as a schoolboy. And I was privileged to be in the same school as him as a teacher. And subsequently he went off to New Zealand and played for Samoa in the 2015 World Cup. Well, Mike, what's it like to be back at Thurrock?
Hi Ralph, yeah, it's always good to come back. The weather's a bit colder than what it is in New Zealand, but it's good to always come back to Thurrock. This is where it started for me, so yeah, always good to come home.
Yeah, of course, in New Zealand it's summer now, so it's beautiful out there up in the north, up on the Bay of Islands and those places. But looking back in time, 2011, 2012, and you played for Thurrock, what were those days like?
Yeah, well, looking back now, I'm a long time retired. I think I'm retired from rugby for about 6 years now. So looking back, I think those years were some of the best years of my rugby. Playing with lots of friends, people I grew up with from a young age, close friends, close family friends. And the social aspect as well is something that you always remember when you stop playing and you look back at the fond memories.
Mike was, of course, part of a great Stanley family and the nephew of the great Joe Stanley, known as Smoking Joe, a great player in the 1987 World Cup. Does Uncle Joe come over anymore?
No, he comes over occasionally, but normally it's for a big event. I think he came over for that Joseph Parker event a couple of years ago when he fought Anthony Joshua. But
yes,
that's about it. Maybe a few All Blacks games he comes over for, but nothing other than that.
And of course Ben and Sam also played for Thurrock, so it must be an inspiration for you boys with Dad Glenn.
Yeah, I think Joe was, Uncle Joe was a big part of our, the reason why we started playing rugby, and that era, especially growing up in the England system and the school system, a lot of the older teachers knew about my Uncle Joe playing for the All Blacks back in the day. So yeah, he wasn't ever too far away from a conversation or two about Joe.
And of course, the great thing for us was you and the rest of the family and Sister Olivia all went to William Edwards School, and massive connection with Thurrock Rugby because lots of the boys came down here to play, and we still got people like Ben Timpson playing.
Yeah, I've seen Ben a few times since I've been back, and it's good to see they're still lacing the boots up. He was a massive talent growing up as a young school kid, and I used to look up to him a lot coming through the Thurrock age group. So it's good to see they're still playing even at the twilight years of 36, 37, whatever old he is now.
And of course, since you've been away back in New Zealand, we've built a fabulous new school here, part of the Southwest Essex Community Education Trust, and partnered with William Edwards. So rugby looks key for the future. What do you think of these great new facilities?
Oh yeah, I'm impressed, especially with that. I think it's a 4G pitch they've got over there at the school. So I mean, if we had these facilities back in the day, it would have been awesome to have the kind of facilities there when the club was, I don't know, in its prime, I guess, in that year or two that we were all here.
Well, Mike, it's been great to speak to you, and John Langley will be looking on down there in Gloucestershire and Tewkesbury, and remembers those days well when you came back and played for Thurrock. Fabulous days, and it was a great privilege for me at the time to be director of rugby with you guys. Some of the best rugby ever seen at Thurrock. 24 games played, 22 won and one drawn, and the one which was lost to Brentwood was reversed in the home fixture. So great days. Thanks, Mike. Perhaps I can speak to you a bit more at half time.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ralph. It's always good to be back, so thank you.
Great to see you, Mike, and your beautiful wife Jess, of course. I'll see you later on. Thank you. So this afternoon Thurrock are playing Dartfordians. Dartfordians, one of the oldest clubs in the country. And in fact, their school, Dartford Grammar School, is one of the oldest in the world. 1576 Dartford Grammar School was built. That's during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. Originally only had 10 pupils, and every year 10 left. But in 1886, the old boys of the school set up their alumni association, and football was played. But it wasn't until 1924 rugby was played there. So this afternoon, Thurrock have just taken the field, and they've gone towards the opposite end of the field. And Thurrock this afternoon have Harry Reynolds at full back. Elliot Chew is playing on the right wing. Elliott has played in every position behind the scrum, absolutely every single one. At 13 is John Freer. John Freer is another young man who's come over from New Zealand, played for Pukekohe, great friend of the watching Trent White and Dylan Thurrock this afternoon. Cody Holloway has moved from the back row to the centre. He's playing at 12. Cody is the captain today, Thurrock. Ahmed Aminu is making a return to the left wing. At half-back we have the Chitty brothers, Charlie Chitty and Scott Chitty. Interesting, there are lots of brothers who played at Thurrock. One of those is here today, Chris Fuller, who played with his brother Alan. We have the Jennings brothers, of course. And we have Mike Stanley here, who played with Ben and Sam. Jack Cowman is loose head, Rick Percival the hooker, Anthony Catchpole is tight head prop. Jake O'Kill is in the second row with Dritan Loka, the ageless, enduring, perennial Loka. Jay Jennings has moved back to number 6, Will Lewis is open side, and Ben Timpson, last year's captain, is number 8. Replacements with Ben Flatt, Ewan Thomas and James Fergus. Dartfordians take the field, used to be known as old Dartfordians. Lots of former schoolboys there. Joe Scott's at fullback. Elliot Gomez Solar is on the right wing. He should have plenty of energy, Solar. Jake Taylor's in the centre with Harvey White. Liam Brencher is the left wing. Tom Gubby has now moved to 10. Miles Taylor is at 9. Ted Rackley, Daniel Sweeney and Lewis Chapman form the front row. Connor Focus, Lewis Potter, the captain now, in the second row. Ryan Chandler, Kieran Clark and Harry Wright in the back row. Replacements, William Tuffley front row, Joe Williams, and the backbencher is Mike Brent. So it's Charlie Chitty, one brothers to kick off today for Thurrock. He with the orange boots, a young prodigy identified first of all by James Evans. So Charlie Chitty to kick off with a powerful Thurrock pack. And Thurrock have chosen to play against the wind in the first half. Difficult ball for Dartford to take in the corner. I think a lot of people try to play out of defence today with this very strong southwesterly wind coming off the River Thames. Miles Taylor with the first box kick. It's well taken by Elliot Chew. He's flattened in the tackle. He manages to turn his body and get the ball back. Scott Chitty waiting. Jack Cowman with the first pile driving, crunching run. Jake O'Kill. Ball's now been let loose. Short ball to Cody Holloway. Cody Taylor's the All Black hooker. Loka, reliable as ever. O'Kill again. Jennings looking for work. Ben Timpson, sporting a beard nowadays and longer hair, looking more menacing than ever. Chitty, Will Lewis in the middle of the field. Charlie Chitty goes in to try and retrieve. Almost a turnover there, a good clear out. Good clear out by Captain Lewis Potter. Timpson again. Good solid period of play. Ahmed Aminu picks the ball close to the breakdown. O'Kill, very prominent in these early exchanges. There's a good positive start by Thurrock. Holloway playing like gets a marvellous offload in there. Thurrock keep going. Chitty again. This is really an enterprising start, but then commentator's curse, the ball is lost, dropped. Dartford kick ahead, but there's been no real advantage. Always under pressure. And the referee's brought them back for an earlier infringement. Pressure on! Good to see the old back row there. Roger White, Ray Davis, Bernie Thomas. They're all hiding there. Graham Morris, my word. They're all hiding there in the corner. Well, we've had a vice president's dinner today and over 100 people there. Wonderful to see. If you're watching and you subscribe to YouTube, then please come along to our dinners. They are sensational. Great food, great company. Dartford using the wind there. A long probing kick to touch, but the referee has come back to an earlier penalty. This will give them more ground advantage. Alex McGuinney, a Scotsman, actually played for Thurrock and played for Dartfordians before becoming the coach of Dartfordians. He's with us today, and of course is a friend of Tim Ryder, former flanker for Thurrock. Both taught together in the Grey School.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Even better.
So it's a very good afternoon to John Langley down Tewkesbury, Mick Leckenby, who's at the club today, not in Cyprus, Bob Williams, Di Davis, Brian Davis. Festive greetings to you all. And festive greetings to Steve Lewis, Mike Havard, the great John Bevan, Phil Crozier, all down in Wales watching, we hope. Good driving more from Dartfordians.
Get on of him!
Good continuity and in the end quite a straightforward try. All emanated from a good throw-in from Daniel Sweeney. Early collection of the ball, exploitation of the blind side. And I think that was Ryan Chandler virtually walking the ball in. Dartfordians 5, Thurrock 0.
Really wanted to catch up with everyone before Christmas, and that was it.
It's Tom Gubby with the conversion attempt. He's come in at the last minute to replace erstwhile captain Jarlath Hetherington. So Tom Gubby has moved from the centre 10 and is also the kicker today. It was a very good attempt, but held up by the wind. So it's Dartfordians 5, Thurrock 0. Chitty doing what he didn't want to do, is kicking off again. It's very well taken by Ben Timpson. He's off again, still very sprightly, that young man. Was of course in school with Mike Stanley and brother Ben. It's better from Jay Jennings, leading a charge. And he catch ball, but a bit of a low ball. That's given advantage to Dartfordians. They can't take advantage. The usual positive comments from Graham Morris there in the back row. Of course, a player, immaculate hands, never dropped a ball in his life. He usually passed them behind his back, actually. He of long memory.
There's a lot worse to come yet.
There's Alan Harding there as well, putting his 2 penneth in. Absolutely. Emphasise the positive to eliminate the negative. So kick ahead. Very well taken by Harry Reynolds. He takes contact. Delivers the ball beautifully. Jennings has been very strong in the carrying the first couple of minutes. Jack Cowman. Loka took the opportunity to pick up short. Chitty is behind, waiting for the kick. Reynolds is watching, he's gone the chase. There's a good take by the full-back. Thurrock caught offside. It was a really good take by Joseph Scott at full-back for Dartfordians. He's a former student of Dartford Grammar School. Dartford, having taken early lead, have possession. That's Ted Rackley with a very heavy contact, but it's a high tackle. And Dartford have the opportunity of a penalty, but they have decided to kick. The referee goes back for the high tackle, which is indicating very vividly there. A special comment to Marco, our cameraman, Mr. Marco Marconi, the man with the radio, man with the mic as well. He's been doing a fantastic job the last few months when the regular commentator hasn't been well. And people don't realise just how difficult it is operating from a small camera with the players miles away, trying to do the commentary as well as the superb camera work he does. This really is probably a four-man job, if anything. But we manage and we enjoy it. And it's good to get broadcast live on YouTube. And this time Joseph Scott doesn't quite gather, but is knocked backwards. That's John Freer, a great tackle by him. Watch his man well. Let him make the half break. It's Harry White making the half break, but John Freer tackled him very well. It's a good afternoon to Mercedes Foy in the Cayman Islands, watching in much warmer climes. I'll let you know it's about 0 here at Thurrock, a strong southwesterly wind and rather damp.
So scrap that on the shine away.
Another international first today. We have Claire and Ricky Love watching from Egypt. I hope you're enjoying yourselves out there, and I hope we can deliver a win for you. But needless to say, the weather is much better there, so I hope you're looking at the pyramids in between penalties. But good afternoon to you all there. It's a festive greetings to the Tulare Costa group. Sorry I wasn't there at coffee yesterday, I was in transit. It was a great kick. A bit of dithering there, but does well to get away. He leaves the first tackle. Another powerful tackle. Oh, this time Charlie Chitty is intercepted and he's gone to the posts. That's Charlie Chitty. Great interception for him. It had to be. He's got orange boots on. What a great try. That young man, when he was 16, was identified by Jim Evans as being a future prospect. It's taken him 8 years to get into the first team. He's a good young man. Good ball player. So it's Thurrock 5. And Harry Reynolds has converted that. Thurrock 7. Dartfordians 5. Good to see Neil Spate here this afternoon, the editor of Thurrock Nub News, of course. Hopefully he'll publish a report after this game. So it's centre Thomas Gubby to kick off. It's a marvellous kick. Gone very high. Very well taken by Ben Timpson. Probably the best man to go to. The referee suggests there was crossing. And so that gives Dartfordians an opportunity to reclaim the lead. Lewis Potter calls over Thomas Gubby though and suggests he kicks to touch. He's gone the corner, just near Orsett Heath Academy, near the new school, temporary school. Gubby goes the corner, attacking line out for Dartfordians, formerly known as Old Dartfordians, quite young nowadays. Scott Chitty. It's a good line out. It's gone to Harry Wright at the back. No stopping him from there. Back peel. Wearing the Alan Pask-esque white headband. Broke off from the back of the line out. Drove over. And I believe that's Harry Wright. It could have been Lewis Potter working a bit of his magic. And that's converted by Gubby. So that puts the visitors into a 12 points to 7 lead. So Chitty with the enviable task of kicking off the 3rd time already. Ben Timpson's so prominent already. That's a great flip up off the floor. Although Thurrock have been winless this season, they've come close on so many occasions. One does feel they deserve a bit of luck. And that's a very interesting decision. One wonders why they didn't play advantage. But obviously there'd been a further mistake made by Thurrock. Thurrock this time going to the corner. Good kick by Chitty using the elements. Takes play up 6-7 metres from the Dartford line. Anybody else out there in Egypt or Lanzarote or anywhere? Paul Smith, we've got to say good afternoon to Paul Smith. He's in Lanzarote. And he's watching out there. His poor mother's had a nasty fall and he's had to stay out there for her to have an operation. So Paul, I'm glad you've sent your wife back home, but I hope you're watching and let's hope you're getting a bit of sun whilst you're watching on the balcony of your hotel room. Knowing you, it probably is a 5-star hotel. Well, we're waiting for the ball. I'm just going to say to Mike, I've got a message for you from Paul Smith. He's stuck in Lanzarote, went down on holiday, was coming back, his mother fell over, broke her hip, she's having an operation. So he's still out there. Yeah. Yeah. Right, Thurrock have won the liner, there's driving more, and yes, he's peeled off, and that's a great score. I'm not quite sure who got that one.
I thought it was Harry Reynolds, I don't think it was. Someone else with a beard, same as his.
Knowing the way he peeled off, it looks likely to be Ben Timpson. Could have been Will Lewis. Anyway, we apologise, it's right at the far end of the ground, and he was hidden behind the rest of the pack, and we couldn't quite see him. We checked on the small camera, but it was impossible. We'll get some word half time, and we'll get the scorer. That levels the scores. And Paul Smith, that is very much your fault because we're talking about you. So anyway, Thurrock have just equalised. Very good result for Aston Villa today, John Langley. I'm really sorry, you're a Manchester City fan, but great for my family, for Reece, because Villa won 2-1. As Man City continue their poor streak of form. In fact, the original try scorer was Ryan Chandler for Dartfordians with a white headband, I can see now. Oh, Dartfordians throw the missed pass with the centre overrunning. It would have been a forward pass if he could be passed to him. Apologise for the raucous laughter in the background. It's much better when the stand is outside. When you have to commentate from there, you can hear every detail. Great to see some former captains here today. Graham Holbrook, Steve Putz, Trevor Burge, Richard Gacious, and always good to see Ivan Whittle, and Steve Bowen, Dennis Stone, wherever you are, good afternoon to you. Probably at London Welsh. So Chitty throws a nice little feint off his right shoulder, kicks a very high ball, gives Thurrock a chance to regather, but as if I'm not quite sure what happened there. Looks like another high tackle by the referee's indication. So Chitty, the difficult task there against the wind, but the ball is dropped, giving Thurrock a chance to make some ground. I'm sure they would have preferred the line out. Dartfordians won the earlier fixture in September at their home ground. Dartfordians alongside Gravesend were one of Thurrock's early fixtures in the inauguration of the club. So it's Lewis Potter driving. Amnu decided to drop back, waiting for the kick. That's the box kick. Miles Taylor. You can't get that full pitch, can you? Because you'd lose all that. You don't want to lose that because otherwise we'd see if we win. Yeah.
I need to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Make sure it's connected and all the rest of it.
Yeah. That's the sound there, presumably. So it's Loco at the front of the line out, but Thurrock have lost that one. It's bounced and come back on the Dartford side. It's a high kick in the middle of the field, and Jack Cowman has taken out brilliantly the prop, and he's offloaded to Elliot Chew. Elliot Chew comes back to the open side. Cody Holloway, always reliable, throws the dummy, takes contact. Thurrock now have a bit of a chance. Jake O'Kill drives hard up the middle of the paddock. Charlie Chitty, the short pass to Anthony Catchpole, this time a much more sympathetic pass. Scott Chitty. Ben Timpson manages to loosen the grip of a tackler. Thurrock go blind. John Freer thinks but offloading, gets back on his feet, drives forward. Dartford has stolen that. That's Liam Brencher has managed to rip that ball clear. Throws it back to Joe Scott, has smashed it down the middle of the field. Harry Reynolds has to scuttle across to pick up the ball. Lovely bit of football skills. Long cross-field kick. Unfortunately, it's gone straight into touch. Good bit of play by Lewis Brencher, the Dartfordians left winger. Thurrock were in a good attacking position. He managed to wrench the ball free. And from that, Dartford have gained about 50 metres. If you put on YouTube and look at Thurrock 2011-2012, there's some great rugby which was played in that generation, or by that generation. So Dartford begin the rolling maul. They have the first stop, now they release the winger outside, come back inside, great support there. Again, they're looking very dangerous down the narrow side. And yes, they've plunged over. For some reason, Thurrock seemed to be exposed on that left flank. Their left flank and Dartford's right. It takes the score to 17-12.
Thank you.
He didn't recognise me. The man with Mike Stanley, of course, was Stefan North, a former Thurrock prop. Hard to recognise nowadays, but great to see him. Again, held up in the wind. It's very difficult trying to convert from that side. You're going against a strong southwesterly wind, which is freshening as the evening goes on. I know we're due for another storm tomorrow. Hopefully those visitors from Wales will be able to get back on the train. There'll be no cancellations. Dartford 17, Thurrock 12. Thurrock 12, Dartford 17. Charlie Chitty kicking off yet again. He doesn't want to be doing this. He must be receiving kickoffs. Well taken by Scott. Good placement of the fullback. That's gone straight into touch as well. Although Ben Timpson was very well positioned. Of course, Mike, I realise that Ben Timpson is a year older than you and he's still playing. So what are you doing? Where are your boots?
I'm not made like him, mate.
Mike says you're not made like him. It's a great line-out take there. I thought I'd get the drive on again. This time it seemed a bit more potent. Midfield dummy from Cody Holloway. Eventually he's pulled to ground. Thurrock recycle. Jake O'Kill does that consistently. Will Lewis. Charlie Chitty. Harry Reynolds comes in the line, but not much of a gap there. Referee judges he's held on far too long. Always difficult to judge how long the referee will allow a team to put the ball back. That was holding on. Split second too long. So that's Thomas Gubby with the kick to touch. Dartford repel that attempt by Thurrock to get back into the game. 17 points to 12 at the moment. Daniel Sweeney to throw in. A durable Dartfordians hooker. Kieran Clark at the front. Very well organised line out. Lewis Potter, the captain, taking that one. Thurrock dragged at the ground and are penalised. Dartford play on. Try a crossfield kick, but the referee thinks they're under pressure, and so he goes back to the penalty. Chris Spedding, the Dartford coach, must be delighted with the line-out work of his captain. Referee today is Harry Hopkins from the old Caterhamians club where he played. A London Society referee. Having a very good game so far, the referee, one has to say. Very fair, even-handed, responsible. So it looks as if Dartfordians has made a replacement. This time Ben Timpson manages to get amongst the opposition. The ball is knocked on. It's a good tackle by Rick Percival. Crunching tackle. We have some maniacal laughter there, reminiscent of a previous era. Both teams trying to get scrum dominance, pretty even. Holloway and Chitty solid in midfield. There's Gubby now who's found a gap. Can't quite link up with the outside backs. Nevertheless, a penetrating run. Oops, that's bounced off the shoulder. Technically, probably not a knock-on. Once again, Dartford have kicked ahead and got an opportunity, but yeah, the bounce has gone their way. Even though Aminu got across, the ball bounced over his head and allowed Dartford to get in again. So after a promising start, Thurrock find themselves in arrears. Speculative kick ahead there by Dartfordians, but it went in their favour as the ball bounced over the head of the diving Aminu. And he's kicked that one, so it's 24 points to 12. That's Gubby with the conversion. So good afternoon to David and Stuart and Peter down in Wales. Chitty kicking off yet again. Good hanging ball, but Dartford have managed to get possession again. Although Thurrock have struggled this season, they have been short of luck throughout. Timpson's been immaculate under that high ball, playing a traditional number 8 role. He kicks the ball downfield, is touched in flight as well. That's Elliot Gore-Solar. Sorry, Elliot Gomez-Solar. Should be plenty of energy from him. Loka this time, the front of the line out. Drive comes on. It's fed back. Cowman, Loka. Loka breaks clear. He's close to the line. Held up short. Ball comes out and Thurrock have dropped the ball again. Unfortunately, opportunity went to begging. Golden opportunity. Get themselves back into the game. They do look good when they get the driving maul going. It's good afternoon to former Thurrock prop Stefan North there, completely unrecognisable with his hoodie on, but looking as handsome as ever. And I do have to say now, publicly on television, that he did promise me he would come back and play for Thurrock one day. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you next season, Stefan. No pressure. Good to see you. Because Mike and Stefan were good friends. They came through the age groups together. And they played for Thurrock together in 2011, 2012, doing what became known as the Golden Season. Every single team won their competition, including the Colts. The women won the English Championship. Colts won the Essex Championship. Second team won the championship. And the first team were promoted to English Division 3, I think, by January. So unfortunately, with a line their mercy, Thurrock dropped the ball, and Dartford have a chance to escape. There's a good scrum drive by Thurrock. As the ball showed the back, Scott Chitty dived on the ball, but the referee has seen something else before. I'm not quite sure what that was. Thurrock tried to get a drive on again in the scrum. This time it's a bit easier. And the ball has come via channel 1. Good work by Miles Taylor to get the ball away. It's now come back to Gubby, who puts the ball away. As half time approaches, Thurrock still on the attack, hoping they can reduce the arrears before half time. This time it's Jennings with a mighty leap. Thurrock are getting some purchase in this driving maul. There's some traction there. It's a good long drive. And they're moving forward at a rate of knots. Dartford is splintering off. Thurrock there have gone blind. I'm not sure what that was for. It could have been crossing. Thurrock moved from open to blind. It looks as if there was some crossing there. And possibly somebody was holding on to a defender. It's unfortunate. It was a good move from Thurrock. Oof. It's a long spin pass which bounced, a bit like a bouncing bomb. Well picked up by Scott. I would say possession has been about 50-50. It's a great tackle from Loka, but the ball is knocked forward in the tackle. But Dartford got some exciting backs who do try and exploit the opportunities. Thumping tackle from Loka, but the ball still went their way, Dartford's way. Ben Timpson, a great tackle there, watched his man really well. That was Lewis Brencher. Dartford beginning to open up a bit. It's Gubby. Chitty has had to move outside because there's an overlap. Amadou comes diving in and misses his man. And this time, Thurrock carved open from right to left. The extra man is made on the inside. That's another good try for the visitors. And that was right winger Elliot Gomez Sola flying in close to the posts. It looks like an injury to the luckless John Freer. He's come over from New Zealand, from Pukekohe, and hasn't had much luck this season, unfortunately, the young man. At least he's getting to his feet, and it looks as if he will continue. So that's converted. So nose goes to 31 points to 12. And Thurrock find themselves in a familiar position this season, ravaged by injuries, bare bones of a back division, so much so that Cody Holloway has had to move from the back row into the centre. And occasionally Caelan Watts-Adams, who is injured himself, has moved from second row to centre. It's collision in mid-air at that stage. The referee adjudges it's a clean contest for the ball. Dartfordians kick the ball off the pitch. They lead by 31 points to 12. First half, in terms of territory and in terms of possession, has probably been fairly even. Dartford have made the most of their opportunities. and have gone into quite a long lead. Thurrock have had their opportunities. Unfortunately, they've made mistakes, usually by crossing when they've been in a position to score and affect the scoreboard rather differently. So as we move to half time, we're going to ask Mike Stanley to come and say a few words, his impression of the first half, and perhaps Stephen North would like to say a few words as well. The great orator that he is. He always had a lot to say on the field.
Always got a lot to say, mate.
So Mike, what do you think of the first half?
Yeah, I think territory-wise, I think it's been quite even. Thurrock have been made to work, I think, a bit more for their points. I'd like to see them probably work a little bit harder in defence in their defensive third. I think. So what's the other team?
Dartfordians.
Old Dartfordians. Yeah, I think their tries seem to be becoming a bit easier. They haven't been made to work as hard for their points. Thurrock are doing really well. I think the forwards are carrying really well, and the driving ball's going quite well. I think I'd like to see when they've got momentum from that line-out drive, just see the ball staying there a bit longer. I think they'd have a bit more success with that. But yeah, so far it's been pretty even.
This is quite interesting here because Thurrock pack seems to be more dominant, but in the backs, Dartfordians are cutting through quite easily. And usually in rugby, if you have a dominant pack, you usually win the game.
Yeah, that's right. Normally that's the case, and you soon can establish that early on in the game whether your pack's dominating or not. And I think Thurrock are definitely getting some good ground in the tight. But yeah, like I said, I think the opposition are just their points are coming a bit easier, and I think that sometimes it comes down to maybe just a bit of work rate off the ball in defence, perhaps. Yeah.
Now you can be the judge of this. This is something completely different. International scrum halves. Now, my son and I, we have debates over the breakfast table, him being a scrum half himself, and we talk about who's the greatest scrum half ever. Now, he's talking to me, and I was at Cardiff College with Gareth Edwards, who is known as the greatest rugby player ever. Of course, the All Blacks have had Aaron Smith, there's Justin Marshall, some great scrum halves over the years. But now we have the emergence of Antoine Dupont of France. What's your impression?
Yeah, I think Dupont for the neutral is quite easy to watch, isn't he? Dupont, he's quite magical. It seems to be anything you ask of him, he can do. He can kick off the right, he can kick off the left, he can see things under pressure. Whether it's a pop pass or whether it's a cross-field kick, he just manages to pull it off, doesn't he? So I think he's quite impressive, and I don't think we've seen a player of his talents for quite some time.
He's got such great power as well, isn't he? That famous tackle where he lifted the player off the field, and of course he won the Olympic 7, so he must be a phenomenal player. It's very difficult to sort of compare generations. I don't think you can ever compare physicality. Today people are completely different genetically, they're built differently, but I think you can discuss skills. And what I say about Gareth Edwards always is look at the 1971 Lions to New Zealand. They were Gilbert leather match balls, it was muddy, it was wet, yet his passes were pinpoint perfect to Barry John. I think you can compare skills. Pace possibly as well, but we have more powerful athletes nowadays. So who do you think the world's greatest player is ever? There's a good question for you. And remember, you've got Uncle Joe there.
My opinion, I couldn't look much further than Dan Carter, I don't think. That Lions tour 2007, I was only a young fella then, but I think that's the most complete performance I've ever seen as a rugby fan. Yeah, that'd be my opinion, Daniel Carter.
Yeah, Daniel Carter, of course, another person who played 12 and 10 like yourself. And I remember when you first went to New Zealand, you met him, you're in awe of the great man, but he's a lovely man as well. Yeah, wonderful player, could kick, could do absolutely everything on the field, couldn't he?
Absolutely. And
so,
longevity.
Longevity, of course, yeah, of course. I'm really worried about Wales in the sense we don't seem to produce top quality players so frequently. What is the secret? What is the secret of New Zealand's success?
Of course, I can only speak from my opinion, but New Zealand, I think, in terms of your basic catch and pass and handling skills, I still think they're quite light years ahead of other countries. And I think that just comes down to when you're at the field or at the park or something, you see people playing touch. Kids have always got a rugby ball in their hand, they're kicking the ball around, whether it be in the back garden or on the beach or on a field. They're playing touch, they're getting their hands on the ball and just trying little tricks that sometimes they don't come off, sometimes they do. And they're encouraged to really push themselves under pressure with their catch and pass and handling drills.
Yeah, it's wonderful to go down. I'm lucky enough to have been down there a few times and go to a place like Rotorua and see little boys trying drop kicks over houses and things like that. But one of the biggest problems, I think, is the pathways. The schools are so good down there. I mean, your youngsters go to school down there nowadays, so what are the schools like? They're still the same?
Yeah, I mean, my kids are only little. I've got one at school. She's only been at school for a year or two, so I can't speak too much from that point of view. But they do encourage sports, and I think with the climate down there as well, they're outside a lot, so they're always running around, chasing one another. And for a big part of the year, so I think that's when you get older and you look back and you try to unwind everything as to what do we make better athletes down there or do they make better athletes up here? At that age, it's those the fundamental skills, playing on the field when you're young, getting dirty, rolling around in the mud, and yeah, when it's quite dry down there and. The summer is a lot longer than it is here. You're able to do that outside, aren't you? Whereas here, you just want to chuck on your woolly hat, your gloves and your scarf.
That's Mike Stanley, the new tourist guide for New Zealand. He has to say that. But Mike, it's lovely to see you back in this country for a while, if only for a short while for Christmas, and it's lovely to see your family with you as well. So good afternoon to you and thanks for coming along.
Cheers mate, thank you.
So Thurrock take the field again with Dartfordians. This time is Thomas Gubby to kick off. Obviously has some familiarity with the position of the first 5/8. Neil Spate has come up alongside this afternoon to have a few words. How are you, Neil?
I'm very good.
What do you think of the first half?
Well, I thought it was going to be very encouraging after about 15 minutes, but it sort of ran away a bit, didn't it?
It did. We had Thurrock had a lot of possession, a lot of territory, but couldn't quite convert their chances in the same way the Dartfordians.
Well, indeed, and I mean, one hopes that the wind may work in their favour a little bit, though it does appear to have dropped a bit looking at the flags, which is a bit disappointing, but I mean, it is what it is, isn't it, at the moment? It's really interesting. In the VP dinner before the game, there was a few people having a moan about the fact that the Thurrock team had a players' night out the other night, and somebody said, well, only 4 of them came back to the club. And I did point out that probably the reason for that was that a lot of them probably not old enough to drink. So it is a little
great answer.
It is a little bit about men against boys, isn't it, in some ways? But it's a club in transition, and you've just got to get through it.
It's a club in transition, and when players start to come through the pathways, the academy and the school we have here, the beautiful school, of course it's going to be a wonderful place to be. A lot of injuries this season, of course, mainly in the backs, which shows.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following, obviously, the games that have been going on. Oh, well, there you go, there's one in our favour. Any sporting organisation runs in cycles, and you and myself are long enough in the tooth to know that things will turn around, so but I mean, fair play to everybody. The spirit in the club is still there. There's a really great VP lunch that I was delighted to be a part of. Lots of old players down there enjoying themselves, talking about yesteryear, which is what it's all about. And who knows, in 10, 15, 20 years, some of these youngsters out there will be doing exactly the same thing. So I don't think anybody should get despondent. It is what it is. It could be a rather unique year, possibly with no wins at all, but you shouldn't get too down. The fact that we're all here, the fact that we're enjoying it, and the fact that they're going to run this ball out quickly, I hope. Go on, son. Sums it all up. But it's good. And nice to see you back here as well at the moment.
Thank you, Neil. It's been a long, hard winter, but all the best. Do you remember Mike and Stefan? This is Neil Spate, the editor of our newspaper. Mike Stanley, Stefan North, and Jess, the good lady there at the end. So I've only seen. So a kick ahead there from I think John Freer, New Zealander. Dartfordians managed to regain the ball. No, they haven't. Thurrock have got that. It's a penalty. Failure to release. And the perennial call comes out from the crowd all the time, ref. It's a long way to find touch outside, but it's a good kick from Charlie Chitty. In fact, quite perfect, 5 metres out. So if Thurrock get the driving more right on this occasion, they should score and get themselves back into the game. They do have the wind with them in the second half. So the driving maul is on, Thurrock going forward. They're very close. Inches short. That is Anthony Catchpole. The enduring tight head prop. Anthony Catchpole is about 20 years older than Stefan North, but he's still playing. An ex-Dilk schoolboy, according to Roger White. Roger White, of course, was the head teacher there, just the end of the Second World War.
It was the first one, Ralph. I was chatting to him earlier on at dinner. Well done.
And Harry Reynolds converted that.
Hey.
So handy 7 points, puts Thurrock back in contention. It's 31 points to 19. That's very well taken. Thurrock with a bit between their teeth, but then they give the ball away. I'm afraid it's been the story of the season in some ways. When you score 7 points, you have to exit, otherwise you give away 7. Yeah, so the relative inexperience which prevents Thurrock just getting over the finishing line. Most weeks this is the case. So Dartford with the feed and head, but Thurrock get the drive on. Very well picked up at the back. Chandler again, he's had a good game, number 6. Thurrock have turned over. Ball's gone loose. Picked up by O'Kill. Jack Coleman.
It was amazing, actually.
Well picked up by Amin. It was a difficult pass take. He's thrown a dummy, can't quite get the ball away. Puts the ball back. Chitty picks up, knocked on deliberately. It's a penalty. Good run from Aminu, coming across the field. Been looking for work today. Ahmed Aminu. Charlie Chitty, he of the orange, pink, red boots. Difficult kick against the wind. Let's be careful not to go above the height of the stand, otherwise we'll be blown back into play. One of the intricacies of playing at this Oakfield ground. Looks like a storm brewing over the Horndon Hills. Loka goes high, strong in the line out, but Dartford have won that. Playing on with a knock on. Good afternoon, Neil Spate. Good to see you. No advantage from the earlier knock on. The ball went flat and hard to Loka. Unfortunately, couldn't quite grasp the ball. It went forward. Good to see Andy Dixon here, former number 8 for Thurrock. Did say he was going to come to the commentary box and say a few words, but he's let me down. Unlike his playing days, where he always looked after me, probably because I was his elderly teacher. Beautiful pass from Miles Taylor. Comes out the left foot. Harry Reynolds put under a bit of pressure, but decides to use the boot on this occasion. From his own 22. Quite a narrow angle. Managed to clear his lines. Good play by Jake Taylor and Harvey White in the middle of the field. The Dartfordians send the ball wide before using the strong left foot of White. Floodlights of Thurrock shining brightly on this winter's day, the shortest day of the year, 21st December. It's good news. Forget the doom and gloom winter. Tomorrow days start to lengthen. Holloway flips the ball out the back. Unfortunately, it's been knock on. The ball was flipped out of the back and thought we weren't quite ready for it, and yet another knock on. Must say it is pretty cold here today, plenty of excuses. Miles Taylor to put the ball in. Dan Sweeney to hook the ball. Lewis Chapman, a tight head to bolster the scrum. Thurrock ready to drive. It's a good solid scrum, both teams doing well there, fairly even exchanges. Nice loop around by Gubby, sends the ball out wide. Once again on the outside, Jake Taylor. There's a good pasture play. Nothing over spectacular, but sensible play which puts the ball in the corner, puts Thurrock under pressure. Great camera work here by Marco Diana. Looks as if a sunlit day in Egypt. You see the pyramids of Horndon in the background.
Yeah, he moved in there. Literally what I said, isn't it? What's that about? He moved in, but I don't see it there.
Folks tidy that up, and Scott Chitty puts in the box kick. Finds a good touch. Left winger Lewis Brencher doesn't attempt to catch that, doesn't take the risk, but gives Thurrock the opportunity of competing in the line-out. And we said that Lewis Potter has reigned supreme for much of this game. So a 12-point deficit. Thurrock sack that one quickly. Doesn't prevent Taylor from getting the ball. Throws out to Gubby. A mismove in the middle of the field. Cody Holloway has to deal with a sidestepping Jake Taylor. So as Brencher, it's a very difficult bouncing ball for Amadou to take. He's isolated on his own line and held up. Eventually does get his knees to the ground. right under the post. Dangerous times for Thurrock again. This would be a real opportunity for Dartfordians to close out the game. Thurrock trying to drive away from under their own posts. Pick and go twice. But then failure to release gives away the penalty. What do Dartfordians do? They have a 12-point advantage. If they kick the penalty, they'll take it to 2 scores ahead. It looks as if they are going to touch. In fact, the ball goes backwards because of the prevailing wind. It's very interesting. We have the Cathedral to Education there, and the new Orstheath Academy in the corner. And the prevailing wind comes from the river in the southwest, and that building more or less will prevent a lot of the wind coming across the new 4G pitch. So Dartfordians were a little bit further out than they needed to be, and in fact they've now conceded the scrum. And of course in Storm Dara last week, posts were blown down on the brand new artificial pitch. So hopefully they will be resurrected sometime in the not too distant future. And of course we have the Christmas period in between. The Thurrock have gone blind from that. Ben Timpson picked up Gone Blind, manages to get the ball to Amanu. He's well tackled by Brencher. They're desperately trying to claw their way back into this game. Loka decides to take matters into his own hands and picks up the ball. Close to the breakdown. Chitty is waiting expectantly, does well. Feeds inside, Cowman inside tip-off pass. Scott Chitty looking out. That's O'Kill. Chitty throws the miss pass. Somehow or other, Harry Reynolds gets the ball in his hands. That's a great kick ahead by Harry Reynolds. There's a collision in midfield there. Favours scuttles on the post. There's John Freer again, I think. But Reynolds does really well. I think he's probably just winded John Freer. They both went for the same ball, collided, and the ball bounced clear to Reynolds, who'd managed to manufacture that try from a long way out. So Thurrock back in the game. So the try by Harry Reynolds takes the score to Thurrock 26, Dartfordians 31. It's well taken by Loka. The man is ageless. Ben Timpson with a nice sidestep of his right foot accelerates towards the outside. Elliot Chew has gone to scrum half. Lovely tip off to Jack Cowman from Ben Timpson on that occasion. Another good an interception, but lost the ball in the process of you could see he was just about to hit the limelight. It was Harvey White Went for the interception, seemed to have the ball in his grasp. He could see the headlines, and then the ball was knocked forward.
Yeah, I like his little
As James Fergus come onto the field, and this time there is an interception. As Thurrock try to move the ball wide, there's an interception and gifts Dartfordians another try. Just when Thurrock were getting back into the game, a series of errors has left them grasping at straws. It's a topsy-turvy game. It's Gubby with a conversion attempt in front of the posts. As twice in succession, Thurrock almost gave away the interception try. Eventually they managed it. It's now 43-31. The deficit is 12 points again. There's still plenty of time left in this game. Thurrock need to regain their composure, play for territory with the wind at their backs, and get into scoring positions. Well, I must apologise, I've got the score completely wrong. It's Thurrock 26, Dartfordians 38. It still is 12 points.
As I say, when you're here, I've got
This time it looks like Miles Taylor with a box kick. A little bit prescient there. I said that before he'd actually kicked it, but it's a fantastic kick. It's eluded everybody, even Ben Timpson. We must pay tribute to the thankless work done by Mike Dunk at this club. It was absolutely everything, including managing the team and washing the shirts, filling the water bottles. He even writes the reports nowadays in the absence of the regular reporter. So Dartfordians have got possession again. They run it wide, come back to the narrow side. Jay Jennings with a pile driving tackle, knocking his opponent backwards. You cannot be critical of the Thurrock effort. They always give 100%, and that augurs really well for the future. Aminu and Thurrock, I think, are offside. No doubt Dartfordians will go for another driving maul. And Mike Brent has come on the field, number 18 for Dartfordians. Storm clouds are rolling in here at Thurrock. Very dark. It's getting very cold here. I wish I were in New Zealand. Bay of Islands, Russell outdo me. So Dartford put the ball in. No movement there from Thurrock. Chandler's picked up number 6, and that's another try, the Dartfordians. They go into the 40s. It's 26-43 with the conversion to follow. And that's gone wide. So it's Thurrock 26, Dartfordians 43. It's now seeming unlikely Thurrock can claw their way back into this game, but no doubt they will try. The margin of error is small, but that has gone straight to touch. Bringing Thurrock back for a defensive line-out when they might have had an attacking one. Once again, Dartfordians have the initiative. They are plunging forward. And Thurrock have given away the penalty, have they? Yes. Unfortunately, this is looking increasingly ominous.
Minutes of that time. Still time. Optimist.
The optimist, who is Marco, suggests that Thurrock still have time. I think about 13 minutes left. Thurrock do win the ball back from that line out. Worth competing sometimes. So it's Elliot Chew. He's played every position in the back line this season with a grubber kick. It's well trapped by the left winger. Liam Brencher managed to regain his own little kick ahead. Dartfordians keep it tight. And Thurrock have won that one. Turned it over. No, they haven't. Dartford have the ball. Harvey Wright sidesteps inside. There's been crossing. Charlie Chitty has a chance to give Thurrock an opportunity. And that ball came very close to smashing our best camera and computer. So Rick Percival to throw in for Thurrock. Goes long to Jay Jennings, but Lewis Potter's intercepted that one. Kieran Clark, who scored the first try there, charging down the touchline, but well dealt with by Thurrock. Ben Flatt has come onto the field. Good to see the young prop in action again. Chitty this time kicks the ball down the field. The ball has gone to touch, comes back out. The touch judge had his flag up and then put it down again. That's a huge forward pass across the field. Dartford attempted the impossible missed pass, missed about 5 players. It went about 15 metres forward. So Thurrock have a chance, probably about 10 minutes left. Thurrock desperately need to score the next few minutes if they're to have any chance of getting back into this game. So it's Elliot Chew, this time Charlie Chitty's dropped the ball. The advantage is played. And James Fergus has to race back. He tries to find touch, but Dartford got the ball back in open play. Then they've thrown the ball away and given it back to Thurrock. Thurrock have got opportunity to move to the open side. They've gone blind. There are fewer players. They're showing real determination here. Thurrock have got an opportunity to the left. There's only 3 or 4 Dartfordians there and 5 or 6 Thurrock players. Thurrock play the short ball, Chitty plays the short ball, then he has a chance to go wide. This time it comes Cody Holloway, sidesteps hard inside. Harry Reynolds has got the ball up game. He's got the bit between his teeth this afternoon to an extent. Scored a lovely try. He's looking for the gaps. This time Loca smashes up the middle of the field. A really good attempt turned over by Dartford. Catchpole still doing his work out there. He's gone forward. Dartford got the ball back. They kick the ball clear. Bounces past Aminu. Finds it really difficult. A bouncing ball evades him and bounces Dartford's way and goes to touch. The only consolation for Thurrock, it's their throw-in. It's Rick Percival, who's come through the ranks at Thurrock. We'll get the throw-in. The referee has to come back to Harry Reynolds, who sustained something of a head injury. He's sitting up, and hopefully it's not too serious. I must say, with these two boys in the grandstands, if they've never been away. Although they wish they were away in warmer climes. Me too. Oh. Yeah. Of course, Mike has been away. He said he's had 2 children since I last saw him. or Jess has, rather.
Mike done all the work.
Enough of that frivolity, please. So, Thurrock get a drive on. Back to the rugby. Chew with a box kick. Gone a bit too far. He's gone straight into touch. And here we are, another delay in Thurrock, the land of the long black cloud. Great ball the back of the line out from Dartford. Very well taken. The peel is on there. Clark is trundling forward. Outstanding play by Dartfordians from the back of the line out. They peeled off, and the whole back row were in concert, and between them they managed to orchestrate that try for Ryan Chandler. And so if this conversion is successful, Dartfordians will reach the 50-point mark. It should be sad for Thurrock because they have played their part in this game. It's currently 48 points to Dartfordians and 26 to Thurrock. And that's the 50-point mark reached. Well, you would have to say that you didn't hear people calling out to Bill McLaren, "What is the score, Bill?" Not I'm anything like Bill McLaren, of course. 50 points to 26.
That's quick, isn't they?
So a succession of quick scores from Dartford will put them in this very strong position with just 3 or 4 minutes left to play. The optimist in Marco is unfounded as Thurrock faltered in the last 15 minutes. It's not to be a dream return for our resident commentator, but we'll try again. Thurrock again obstruct whilst in the process of cultivating a forward drive. One must hasten to add, it's very cold here now at Thurrock Oakfield. It must be difficult handling the ball on the pitch. It's even difficult handling the camera, the microphone. Thurrock seemed to have lost a little bit of potency in the line out as well. This time the bouncing ball does favour Dartfordians. A shrill blow of the whistle indicates there's been something of an indiscretion. There's a yellow card. And the referee has sent the captain, Cody Holloway, from the field. And Thurrock concede another 30 metres upfield. It's been very enjoyable bringing you this coverage from Thurrock Oakfield this afternoon. And it's been a keenly contested game, with Thurrock playing their part for long periods, but unfortunately falling away a little in the second half. They continue to be game, and they're still going to try to close out the game with a try. Throw the ball quickly to Ben Timpson. He's off on a run again. Feeds Andy Catchpole. Ball has gone to ground, but it has gone backwards. And this time Dartford get the turnover. Young Ben Flatt trying to retrieve the ball at the bottom of the ruck. I think Mike Brent has got the right idea. As if he's got tracksuit bottom on as well as a pair of shorts. Keep himself warm. Both sides looking to have the final say now. Potter, quite magnificent the lineup this afternoon, the captain. Dartford decided to kick the ball out to this final play, and it's a very successful afternoon for Dartfordians, and they've won this encounter by 50 points to 26. Thurrock were very competitive for large parts of this game, but faltered quite a lot at the end. Dartford took their opportunities really well, several interception tries, and Thurrock have lost once again, and it's been a very dismal start to the season. They've not won a game so far this season, but nevertheless, as Neil Spate said, we are in transition period here at Oakfield. We're looking forward to better fortune in the future. We're just going to say goodbye to Mike Stanley and Stephen North.
Oh, which goose you got?
It's Stephen North here, the former Thurrock prop,
How you going? You alright?
who speaks in his local colloquial accent, of course. And he's going to say, who are you playing for nowadays, Stephen?
I'm down at Southend, but I've not been playing for a while.
You're at Southend, been injured for a while. And of course, Southend, the old rivals.
Yeah.
So we look forward to seeing you back at Thurrock very soon.
One day, always one day.
There we are, one day. He's now 48, but he will be back one
I'm
day.
48, but I'm just 30.
He's only 30, bless him.
35, just look forward.
Mike Stanley, bon voyage and good luck, and let's hope you have a lovely family Christmas here in England.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ralph. It's good to come back and watch the Thurrock boys, and yeah, unfortunately not today, but yeah, good to come and see what's going on up here. So thank you.
It's great to see you once again on a field which you graced for so long. Thank you and good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jess, and goodbye. So it's good afternoon from Thurrock Oakfield. It's been an evenly contested game for large parts. As I said, Thurrock fell away a little at the end. But nevertheless, it was a good game of rugby. And thanks to Harry Hopkins, the referee. Good afternoon.
Painful.